everything I learn in my personal life and everything that I learn in the workplace, it's got potential to be used to advance God's kingdom. Yeah, I think I should have just said that and made it a 10-second video because that is the bottom line of why I've created this channel. Hey there, welcome back to Zibuyile, iinkokheli. It's been, I think, 2 days since I last shot and uploaded my first video, which was a get to know me tag. I will link it below here, up there, somewhere. I'm not sure, I'm still figuring this thing out. So please bear with me. Let us figure things out together. Okay, so it's been 2 days and quite a number of people, surprisingly, to my surprise, quite a number of people have watched the video since, and a lot of people, way more than I anticipated, especially for my first video and within such a short period of time, have also subscribed. So thank you so much. If you watched the previous video, thank you for coming back. And if you've just joined us, welcome. I hope you stay. I hope you enjoy this kind of content. Like, comment, subscribe, share the videos with your favorite people and your not so favorite people maybe. Maybe you'll like them or they'll start liking you once you share these videos with them. I don't know. Just share the video. Okay, I really appreciate it. On today's video, basically, just wanted to talk about, wait, before I get to that. When I was walking out of church, I bumped into one of my friends and she was like, "Hey Z, congratulations." I'm like, "Congratulations, and then after a few minutes it clicked, my girl did a thing. I did a thing. I finally started. So on today's video, I wanted to just have a brief-ish conversation as to why, after so many nudges and hints and suggestions that I should start a YouTube channel, I didn't. It's been years now. It's been, when I say it's been over 5 years, it has been over 5 years. So I wanted to talk about the reasons why I haven't started and what has pushed me to finally launch the channel. A lot of the reasons are pertaining to me. There are things, there are things that are like more, I don't want to use the word flaws, but it's mostly things that I was very self-aware of. So let's get into it. I made a list because, yeah, I don't want to forget stuff and then after shooting the whole video, and then now I have to like shoot again and edit and whatnot. And guess what's back? If you know, you know. If you don't, please watch my previous video before watching this one. So one of the reasons why I didn't start, okay, let's backtrack a little. I love writing. I've loved writing since I can remember, actually. Funny story, growing up, I was told a story by my uncle. Growing up, we used to get impahla Christmas on the 24th of December. So it was usually 24th of December at night. You know, we didn't grow up now for the Christmas. Santa Claus, like, we knew that the clothes were coming from our parents. So because I come from such a small family, my mom's siblings, so my aunts and my uncles, we grew up spending Christmas holidays ekaya cool, and all of us would get clothes. So my mom would not just buy me clothes, she would buy me clothes and then my cousins as well. So by the time kuphela Deka December, you'd have an entire new wardrobe because you have 5-6 people buying you 6 outfits, which worked out very well. So one of the stories that my uncle shared was when I believe I was around the age of 4. It was before I went to preschool, before I could read or write. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm just trying to get to the point of me loving writing. So it was at around the age of 4. I stand to be corrected. But my uncle shared a story that around the time of Christmas, that particular year, before you get your Christmas clothes, you need to bring a report that shows that you have passed and been promoted to the next grade. So everybody that was my cousins that were already enrolled at school, they brought their reports. And your girl, where am I gonna get a report? I'm only 4 years old. I haven't started preschool. I'm living with my grandmother, and there's no report card saying that I've been promoted. And I wanted the clothes. So apparently what I did was I quickly ran to my mom's bedroom, grabbed a piece of paper, ripped it out of a diary or something, and grabbed a pen. At this point, I could barely hold a pencil. My pencil grip was still in the works. So I scribbled on it. And I ran back. So the Christmas gifts were being opened in the lounge dining area, like in the family room. So I came back with my piece of paper that was scribbled on it and submitted it as my report card. So with that said, I've loved writing since. So I grew up writing. I grew up keeping journals and things like that. English was one of my favorite subjects at school, mostly because of the writing component of it, even as Xhosa, in fact. Paper 3 was like, I banged on paper 3 because I'm a storyteller for days. So I loved writing, and my English teachers told me straight up, but they enjoy reading my essays. Fast forward 2019. So when I started med school, I stopped journaling. And like I said in my other video, med school for me was quite a traumatic experience. But although it was a traumatic experience, you would think that I would have wanted to continue journaling, but I completely stopped journaling. And a part of me regrets it, but a part of me understands that I stopped doing a lot of the things that I enjoyed doing when I was in medical school, because I think it was a trauma response. Please excuse the lighting. Cape Town is just, the weather this weekend is just up and down. 1 minute it's raining, the next it's sunny, the next it's gloomy again. And yes, so excuse the lighting. We're still relying on natural light in the streets. So I stopped journaling, but 2019, I got back to writing after an incident happened. I was doing my final year, so I collapsed at one of the hospitals and found myself on a resus bed right after resusing a patient, like being involved in a resus. So that particular weekend, I started journaling again. But when I started journaling, I started a blog as well. And that blog, the intention behind it was to use it as a journal, as an outlet, and also just to document my journey and process so that people can experience it with me. However, life happened, which leads me to the first point of, I realized that when I am going through the thick of it, I tend to neglect the things that keep me afloat, or things that I enjoy doing, or things that are passion projects for me, right? So when I'm going through the thick of it, I realize that I will still do the most. I will show up for work like nothing is going on. I will show up for the things that I've committed myself to, that I am bound either by verbal or written contracts to. But when it comes to things that are personal to me, I tend to just neglect that commitment. So I stopped blogging. And then I restarted blogging in 2020, around 2020, 2021, during the pandemic. But because I was too tired, guys. Working as a doctor during the pandemic, I think we still need group therapy for that one. And it has to be on the government's tab. I don't know where they're going to find the money, but I think we still need therapy for that, just that alone. So I stopped blogging, and then last year, I restarted blogging. Although I was not as consistent, it was better than when I first started. So one of my fears with starting a YouTube channel was the fact that I would start and then life would start lifing, and then I would disappear on you with no explanation whatsoever. And because I like doing things well, and if I don't do something well, then to me it counts as a fail, even if I tried. So I was like, if I start a YouTube channel and then I stop midway, then it's going to be a fail. So I discounted myself before even starting. And yeah, so I didn't want to commit to something and not maintain it. Something I'm still working on. The Lord is still helping me with this one because I'm struggling with consistency, which is why I am trying to write in advance, shoot in advance, so that on days where I don't feel like it, that's the other thing. When I don't feel like doing something, I don't. Let me categorically say that when I don't feel like doing something and there's no verbal or written commitment to it, then I don't do it. So my passion projects tend to go to the back burner because I don't feel like it. So the other thing is procrastination and feeling inadequate and feeling like I don't have anything to say. I have a lot of topics that I've wanted to cover for my blog, and it's not that I don't have anything to say. It's just that sometimes I ask myself, is what I want to say even going to be interesting to someone else? Because the other thing that you need to understand is my blog and this channel is going to be a lot of my experience. Mostly the blog, it's a lot of things that I have experienced firsthand. It's not secondhand information. So sometimes I ask myself, is my story worth even telling? I think that I've got really interesting, good stories, but sometimes I'm just like, who's gonna care? Or how is it going to change someone's life? I attended our headquarters conference in Tata, Rakuri Life Ministries in Tata. I was actually wearing this outfit on the day when the emphasis of we conquer by the blood of the Lamb, Jesus Christ, and the word of our testimony. So I'm still in the process of sharing the word of my testimony so that I can conquer. So by me sharing these videos and explaining to you why I haven't been doing things like I should, I guess this is a form of me having accountability, which will push me to consistency. The other thing is that I honestly think that I am a better writer than I am a speaker, which some people beg to differ, but that is just my take on my strengths. I know that public speaking, interestingly enough, for my personality, yeah, I'm just a better writer than I am a speaker. Also because writing for me, I don't have to think much about it. Once I start writing, I just flow with it. So starting a YouTube channel meant that I needed to now translate everything that I am thinking and feeling onto video form, which is not as easy. Being on camera and not having a live audience as well to engage with you can be a little, I don't know. So the other thing was, I felt that YouTube is oversaturated and that there is no space for me. And do I still feel that way? Kind of. But then I came across, so I'm also new on TikTok. I think I joined TikTok last year towards the end, but I don't consume a lot of TikTok content. But I came across a creator, I just forgot her name. I came across a creator that was saying, Obana, just pick up the camera and create content. People are doing crazy, ridiculous things out there, and people are enjoying that content. And then when you are sitting with something that is worthwhile. And yeah, she was saying something to that effect. So do I feel like the market is oversaturated? At first I did, because the content I was thinking of creating and the content that people were suggesting I create, I felt like that there were enough people doing it already. But I will let you know what changed, or at what point did things change regarding me feeling like the market is oversaturated. One of the other things here was that I also felt like I don't have anything to pour out, because life is literally like right now. Yeah. So I felt like, you know what, I don't have the capacity to be out here. I don't have the capacity, nor do I have the business to be pouring out into people when I myself am just being, you know, I love air crash investigation. Yeah. So I used air crash investigation terminology and scenarios to explain how I was feeling on that particular week. So I said, "Bah, yo, you know what? It feels like the aircraft that I'm in has needed to crash land, but we are crash landing on water. And although I know that I need to wear my life jacket and not inflate it, I am tempted to inflate it. But at the same time, if I inflate it, when the aircraft lands on the water and starts sinking, I will want to get out of the door and I'll be trapped because I've inflated my life jacket. But the anxiety and the panic makes me want to inflate the life jacket." And I still don't know whether that makes sense or not. But yeah, I sometimes feel, even with blogging, I sometimes feel like life is lifing, and I just need to take time out to just take care of those matters first. But akukho xesha wethu. Life will continue lifing whether or not I continue doing other things. I need to just go with it. So what changed? Not a lot. But we tend to pray a lot about the country, pray a lot about our communities, families, and things like that. And faith without works is dead. So what changed in terms of me starting a YouTube channel? I got an answer as to what kind of content I should be creating. I think that is the thing that changed. That was like the pivotal moment for me, because I felt initially that if I create the content that is expected of me, because it's something that comes naturally to me, like on WhatsApp, I'll be like, "Hey guys, today I'm just doing my hair," and then I start shooting unintentionally a hair tutorial. I felt like that, although it'll be beneficial to people because we need to learn how to take care of our hair, but I felt like, how is that going to change anyone's life? It'll change your life because you're going to look prettier. But what impact, like an eternal impact, is it going to leave in your life? So the moment where everything changed for me was when actually I got leading and direction as to what and how I should navigate the YouTube content issue. The other thing is that with us praying for communities, the nation, the world, I remember praying and I was literally like engaged in serious prayer for education, and I was stopped midway. You know, when you're praying and then your answer gets like dropped immediately. So I was stopped midway, and the reason I was stopped was the idea of, by now, okay, you are praying for education, but what are you doing about it? And in my head, I'm like, "Andio Tishala, I'm not a lecturer." What do you mean education? As I fleshed out and explored that, of course, when that interruption happened, a lot of ideas came through. So I want this channel to be mostly for educative purposes. And that'll look like many things, honestly speaking. But the main idea for this channel, although I'll do like vlog styles and like funny content and, you know, life experiences and all of that, but the main idea for this channel is to have sit downs, because I realized working in low income and low resource settings that you would think that people know things. You would take for granted that when other things that you know, they're obvious. But I realized that not everything is obvious to everyone. Case in point, I came across youth at around grade 8, even matric actually, the most recent encounter. The young lady was in matric, and I was just asking her about her thoughts around what's her plan for after matric. Is she going to continue with school? What kind of school is she going to continue on with? And she was clueless whether she didn't know like her options, and she knows that she could potentially be a nurse or a teacher or a doctor or all of those I don't know what term to use, but all of those career choices that are famous and the obvious choice. But her comment was, I thought of being this, which is the part that she wanted to go into, but she was like, but I don't think I'm good enough at school to actually qualify and go study for that. So I want to help bridge that gap, the knowledge gap of what are my options after school? What are my options if I cannot finish school, if I am not academically strong? What are my options from grade 9 from grade 9, because that's typically when things shift and change and whatnot. So what are my options after grade 9? What are my options after matric? What are there are things that I wish I was informed about being a doctor that I didn't know, and felt like I got blindsided simply because I didn't know, and because there was no one to tell me that, listen, this is what to expect. For me, being a doctor was Grey's Anatomy, and Grey's Anatomy lied to us. Well, in the South African context at least. For me, being a doctor was what I saw when I used to go to the doctor after school or whenever I was sick. That was what being a doctor looked like. Because I had never been admitted to a hospital, I had no idea what happens behind the scenes, what happened. I felt completely blindsided. And I really want this channel to help young people more especially, so that they're not blindsided. That they're not blindsided by their career choices, that they're not blindsided by life after graduation, that even for graduates, because sometimes whatever you study doesn't work out the way you had hoped it was going to work out. So what happens now if you want to pivot? So the idea for the channel is to bridge those gaps, provide information. And it is not just going to be me on this channel speaking to you. I don't think I have enough knowledge in my reservoir to share. I don't know everything, and I know people who know things. So what I want to do is I want to invite people onto this channel to share their experiences as well. One thing that I have intentionally tried to do, especially with my blog, is in me telling my stories, I don't want to tell other people's stories for them. So I'm going to invite people to come and share their stories. It's going to be quite an interactive channel. I can never explain it fully what I intend on doing with the channel for now, because of course there's always the chance that things might change. I might be redirected, but for now I want to bridge that knowledge gap. So I want to bridge that what do I do if I'm not academically strong? What are my options? Okay, I'm academically strong, but I don't want to go for the obvious career path. What are my options? Also, the South African economy is just going through the most, and work opportunities are not as available and easily accessible. So now what I wanted to do is not exactly what I'm going to be doing or what I am studying. What are my options? So that is the plan for the channel. And I hope I've explained it to a point whereby you kind of get where I'm going with this. So with me praying about everything pertaining to the nation and my community, this is me doing my part. And I've picked up that there's a gap, there's a knowledge gap, and there's a resource gap as well. Not necessarily financial resource gap, because I don't have the finances nor the means to bridge that. But there's a knowledge gap, a huge one, that you would think doesn't exist. But wait until you go to the townships and you realize that things are not as obvious for everyone. And it breaks my heart truly that in the year of the Lord 2024, there are still people that don't know that you've got options and things like that, like funding for education. Those are things I want to cover. University applications, things like that, like where do you start? What do you need? And I know that there are resources available for all of these things, but also people in this day and age are lazy to read, unfortunately, and they consume a lot of video content than written content, which for me is quite a pity. Like, it is quite a pity that we are losing the skill and the zeal to read because of I guess it's understandable that audio and video content is more convenient, but it has its own pitfalls. So that is the gist of why I'm starting this YouTube channel. And with me conquering by the word of my testimony, I am convinced that me sharing my testimony and other people coming on to share their testimony, it will testimony not just being how I got saved or when I got saved, but testimony as my experience, childhood experiences, my high school experiences, my varsity experiences, my work experience. Those are testimonies. People think that testimonies have to be like big things. They don't have to. And every aspect of your life, in fact, can be used as one. And so I'm trying to play my part and allowing my experiences and allowing everything that I've learned over the years, these very short 28 years of my life, allowing those to be used for the advancement of God's kingdom. That is the bottom line of it. Because everything I learn in my personal life and everything that I learn in the workplace, it's got potential to be used to advance God's kingdom. Yeah, I think I should have just said that and made it a 10-second video because that is the bottom line of why I've created this channel. So if this is the kind of content you will find interesting or you think you might be interested in, or you know a young person that would benefit from this kind of content, even an older person actually, because I don't think my content is going to be limited to just young people, because I want to invite guests from all walks of life I can think of, age, race, background, everything, culture. When I say I want to invite people from all walks of life, I mean literally that. I kind of have an idea how we're going to do it, because some of the people that I already have in mind that I'm going to invite, I've got easy access to because it's people I know. But other people, we might have to do video interviews. Like I said, it's going to be podcast styles for those videos. So we might have to do video and the quality might be different, but please bear with me. we will figure this channel out together. Anyways, that was longer than I thought it was going to be. I really wanted it to be like 10 minutes cap. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the link with somebody you know. And I'll see you, I don't want to say when, but thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. I'm going to start a series, Navigating Life. And I think it's going to be an exciting one. I think it's a great topic to start with. So my next video is going to be kicking off my series, Navigating Life series. So if you're looking forward to that content, what am I saying? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my not so short but also not so long video. I don't know how long it's going to be. So my next video is going to be mostly personal stories, and the first video is going to be navigating life as an unemployed post-community service doctor in South Africa. It's going to be an interesting one. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.